Where you at? Oh, you're in LA?
No, aquí estoy. I'm in my crib here in Walnut Creek, man. Coast to coast.
Damn.
Anyways, how you been? How you doing over there?
Good, man. Super fortunate, lucky person just to.
Tell us where you're at. Tell us where you're at.
I'm in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I
Mm-hmm.
work at a restaurant called Sunset Mona Lisa. I'm the corporate executive chef over here.
Dope, man. So talk to us. What have you been up to since we last connected? You were in LA, one of my favorite chefs, and then you moved to Mexico. Talk to us about that transition and what you've been up to.
I worked for the Ritz-Carlton for a long time. It was a great company. I learned how to be an amazing manager and manage over like 200-300 employees at a time. But I was missing the love for the food, and I was invited over here for an interview, which I never thought I would move down to Mexico. I never thought I would take the job or anything. But after coming over here and interviewing and seeing the location and the people and the staff and the environment, meeting the committee, like the ownership team, was an amazing opportunity. I had to jump on it, and they're giving me the opportunity. I have obviously I run the kitchen very tight at a 30% food cost, but we have unlimited budget here. The owners are amazing, and I'm able to create anything. I mean, there's no limit to what I'm able to create here, and I've been here about a year. We're closed for 3 months for COVID, but since we opened back up, it's just the restaurant's been taking off. It's
you're back to being fulfilled, creating, cooking different style menu, correct? Because you went from the Ritz, which is awesome, and now you're going into more. How would you describe your situation now?
It's we're trying to get a Michelin star. First, we're trying to get a Michelin star and being top 50 on the Aquafina list. So it's an everyday mission of trying to be like the best restaurant, the best chef in the world. We've been hiring amazing people. I just hired an amazing pastry chef that used to work at Dominique Crenn. You got myself. I got a team from all over the world that, it's coming along. It's becoming a great restaurant.
Chasing that Michelin star and you being a talented chef who happens to be Latino is amazing, bro.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in being Latino, being in Mexico, learning Spanish, becoming a resident of Mexico. My parents are from Mexico and I've never been here. So being able to do all that, I'm from the hood, I'm from LA, I'm from a hood in LA. So being an ex-gang member, being a Latino, being able to chase a Michelin star, I think if it's possible to get that Michelin star, I would probably be a very unique individual to have time in prison and getting a Michelin star at the same time. So I think
that's a very small club, right? Prison and Michelin star.
I don't know anybody that's done it, so
I know that was more of a joke. But let me ask you, before you got to where you're at now, where you're headed, tell us about some of the chefs you've been fortunate to work for.
The first company I worked for was Patina. So I worked at Patina for 9 years, and I was able to work with Joachim Splechal, Eric Greenspan, Ian Grisek, Brett Thompson, Octavio Becerra. That's all within that one company. And then I joined the Ritz-Carlton, and when I joined the Ritz-Carlton, I was executive chef for Carrie Simon, Wolfgang Puck, Tracy Desjardins, Jose Andres.
There you go.
Ben Ford.
That's what I was getting at. I remember when you and I first connected.
Yeah.
You had mentioned some of the folks. So you mentioned, listen, Wolfgang, Tracy Desjardins, who used to have a place here in San Fran, and of course the legendary Jose. How long have you been in the game before you started saying, okay, I'm pretty good?
I would say like after I left Patina and I opened up the Ritz-Carlton, which was a 1,200 room hotel in LA, and I never even worked in a hotel before. So that was an accomplishment that I was like, holy shit, I worked in a Michelin star restaurant and I opened up a 1,200 room hotel in the middle of downtown LA pretty successfully. And then after that, it was just about honing my skill and knowing my worth and getting to the places that I needed to get to. But once I opened up that Ritz-Carlton, I knew that I wasn't just a fine dining chef. I actually did know how to run a kitchen and operate a successful business, which being a chef is a balance of cooking, business, being a good person and leading a team. So
okay,
I think
so you said something interesting. Cooking, and it's a business. A lot of chefs are going into it for the game, chasing that Michelin. Nothing wrong with that. We need more Latinos to get that. But at some point, sooner than later, would you recommend that they start thinking from the business aspect of it?
You have to. I mean, there's no way you're going to be able to cook food and run a 50% food cost because you don't know how to utilize your scraps or write a menu that is cross-utilizing things. So me, I'm a corporate chef. I have 4 or 5 different restaurants. We're opening our 5th restaurant. We just opened a hotel. And we write the menu based off of, we run our fine dining restaurant, kind of like the French Laundry and Bouchon and Ad Hoc in Unionville. So we take the center portion of our short rib here, our A5 here, and we use the scraps for our other restaurants to make the pastas or whatever. So then the food cost is like 27% fine dining and 20% in the casual dinings, which is unheard of. I just have the luxury of using all my scraps. But if you're just writing a menu to write a menu and you have no plan with the financial part of it, you're gonna screw yourself over at some point.
100%, 100%. Let me ask you this: do you remember the dish that you cooked at the LA Food Festival that we connected at?
The lechon, no?
With what?
Mamposteado.
There you go. Hold up a second. Check it out. I just made it today.
Oh damn!
Today,
You got the.
I got my buddy over. It's actually his wine. We paired up. It's Ortega Family Wines. I made him a ribeye with the mamposteado that you had first touched me on, And I did research. Go ahead.
You put the fried plantains in there, the amarillos.
All of that, because I remember you had done the lechoncito, you had done the cuero, and you had the mamposteado on the side, and you had a tortilla for the crispy. That's the LA influence in you. So it's not just bullshit. Like, we're boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get. Where do you see the industry going with COVID? Where do you see that restrictions? What are the restaurants going to do to maximize profitability with more limitations, but still fulfilling? Talk to me about that.
Actually, I think society in general is like, if you have the money to go dine, you do it. If you don't, then you got to kind of find a place to go eat that's not cooking your own. So the way I see it here in Cabo, and I talk to my friends, obviously, is the people here at this restaurant, they have no problem paying $300 a person for their meal. Not everybody could do that at the moment, so it's either one or the other. There's not that little casual dining in the middle anymore. I don't think. It's either you're buying some tacos at a to-go place or you're spending the big money. But the middle class, like being able to just, let's go to, I don't even know.
It's gonna have its challenges. I get you.
Yeah, so there has to be a balance, but I don't think that middle area is really there anymore. It's either you're going to be doing to go or you're going to be fine dining.
You're right, because the corporations are the ones going to last, and so you're very fortunate. So what do you think is the biggest mistake new chefs make that you recommend that they avoid, based upon what you said?
I think I've learned my lesson with this a few times too. Is you step into a role or you step into a restaurant, you want to open a restaurant, you got to take it easy. You got to build your clientele. You got to build your reputation and your menu. It's always good to start small, start conservative, and you get a feel for your neighborhood or wherever you might be. And like, people are willing to spend, okay, we could put a little bit more expensive things on the menu, grow it up a little bit. But a lot of people, they come in, it's like, oh, I'm going to show everybody, I'm going to do caviar and truffles and all this stuff, but they don't really know how to treat it, or they might not even know if their clientele likes that stuff. So you might be sitting on a large inventory. So over time, it's just like you step into any role, you step into any restaurant, you open a new restaurant, just start small, think big, and just grow yourself up into the reputation of the area and clientele.
I like that. I like what you just said. Think big, but step by step.
Yeah.
Right? Step by step. So that's good. What is your biggest pet? Let's have some fun questions. What is your biggest pet peeve when they go out to eat?
When people come to dine with me or when I go out to dine?
Let's do both. Let's do the first one. They come dine to you. Hashtag que te molesta.
I think it's kind of weird when you like, hey, let's go to this restaurant and then let's go make our own menu at that restaurant. So yeah, I want the steak, but can I have it with the vegetable from the fish? And it's kind of like, why are you going to that restaurant, dude? That's kind of,
Yeah,
just let the guy cook his food, and maybe you might have a better experience than what you already have on your mind.
I like that.
Um, when I go to a restaurant, I think I'm always open minded. I don't know what to expect. People ask me, how do I judge a restaurant? It depends on how much they're charging me. I mean, I went to a sushi restaurant the other day down the street with me and one other person. The bill was $500. It was nowhere near a 2, 3 Michelin star restaurant or even a 1 Michelin star restaurant. So I was kind of like, all right, here's a $500, but I'm probably not going to come back again. But
Mm-hmm.
if it did deliver on all levels of that Michelin star level of service and food, I would have no problem going back over and over again to spend that $500.
Yeah,
So if I'm
the
going
value.
somewhere and it's $20 a plate, I really don't have an expectation. I mean, just as long as the food's good and they're cooking it the right way, I'm not
The value has
looking
to
for
be
this
there.
crazy experience.
Yeah, the value has to be there. The experience is what you're saying, correct?
Yeah, if you're charging that amount, it should be there for sure.
Got it. Now let's talk about this, Jacob. Person dead or alive to have dinner with. Who would it be, and why?
Man, now I just got a tattoo the other day of Mamba mentality. So if I could ever sit down and eat a dinner with Kobe, that would be amazing. As a dead person and as a person that's alive, it would be cool to sit with Thomas Cowler.
Mm-hmm.
I had
We
a
have.
conversation with some people the other last night, and they're like, "Oh, he's washed up and he's not like he used to be." I was like, "Hey, you need to show some respect. That's a legend right there." And that guy created a lot of great chefs and paved the way for a lot of people and gave them inspiration across the world. So it would be cool to just sit there for a couple hours and talk to him about life.
We actually had one of his chefs on the show. It's gonna come out, so I'll connect you guys. Un Boricua, good kid,
Okay.
good kid. He actually worked with Sean and French Laundry, and he's taking off another step and moving on. So he's got a lot. We talked good times on the Tom Keller restaurant group. So that's dope. If the world was ending, what would be your last meal?
I'm a pretty simple person. Some super bomb sushi. I'm good with some uni and some unagi, some mackerel, a little salmon with truffle sauce or something, just some proper rice, some sushi rice, and I'd be happy. I'd be super happy.
Got you. Lakers gonna do it again this year?
Yep, I think so. Last night was kind of with it, but you got to think that every single person's going to be trying to take that crown every single game. So they got to be ready for that. It's going to be a tough second go, but it's possible. And LeBron only,
as long as they stay healthy. You know, that's key.
Yeah, LeBron looks kind of. I mean, he might be getting old, so he only has a little bit more gas. He has to do it if he wants that.
Well, we gave you guys a couple more cushions because the Warriors aren't healthy. So enjoy that while it lasts.
I don't think they're gonna come back either. Steph looks a little soft,
Yeah, no, it's definitely some interesting times coming up. The industry, social media, you have this controversy with chefs and Yelpers and stuff. How do you feel about that?
I really don't care what other people think or say. I stay in my lane. I try to work hard every day. So I grew up in a hood where everybody talks shit. So I think I just mind my own business and stay in my own lane. All these people talking is anybody that's talking. Well, if they're talking about me, it's only motivation. I only use everybody's bad words and everybody's bad energy as my motivation every day. So please bring it more. And I love that. But for everybody else that talks about other people and all that, it's like, I mind my own business. I don't really care what other people think or say. I just want to try to be the best chef and cook food every day and be good for my family and be good for everybody around me, my staff. And that's it. Try to be a good person.
Okay. I like it. Listen, you've done, you've done a lot in your career for such a young kid. And I mean that in the utmost respect. You're one of the most humblest and genuine people I know. You work for some, as we say in Spanish, caballos, monstruos. You take next steps from good spots to even greater spots to challenge yourself. You are a dope chef who happens to be Latinos chasing that Michelin. For the last question, looking back at your career and you feeling confident to achieve your goals, that confidence you have, what is the one thing that you can look back and say, this is why I'm able to do it? Are you hungry? Are you driven? Do you have the ability to execute? What do you think is your best quality?
Um, I'm just a very passionate person. I love my family and I love food, and I don't want to let anybody down. So every day I wake up, I'm driven to prove to my mom and my kids and my staff that it is possible. I came from nothing. I came from a little cell somewhere in LA, and I've hung out with millionaires and billionaires, and it doesn't matter to me. I just know that everything is possible. Every single thing in this world is possible. If I am where I am and I bring my staff with me, everything's possible. I came from the bottom, the gutter. So it's I represent a lot of people. I represent Latinos. I represent LA, my neighborhood, my family, and the kitchen in general. So I really want to make sure that every day I don't let anybody down with with my progress, and every day needs to be better than yesterday, and it's a constant push. I wake up every single day at 6 in the morning. I go to the gym. I keep my mind clear, and I really don't want to let anybody down along this mission.
Hey man, you sound like a Latino Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao.
Yeah,
You got
yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah,
the country weight on him, and he doesn't let them down. Just like you're not going to let us down. And ultimately, it's because you're driven and you have the ability to execute. But I want to thank you for your interview. We recapped a lot. We had some fun questions. I look forward to, after this COVID, visiting you down there, my brother.
hey, I'd love to have you, bro. I got so much love for you, and you've helped me out a lot, and we've done some cool things together. If you came down here, you already know, man.